Going to go ahead and get started then. I am Savvy D. Jones, the co-living diva, and today I am going to be talking a little bit about AI and how to use it to create your 7-element elevator pitch. And I'm going to be working from the framework P.I.T.C.H.E.D, P-I-T-C-H-E-D, 7 elements of an impactful 1-minute elevator pitch using ChatGPT prompts. So this is going to kind of go along with what Coach Sharon was telling us about a few minutes ago. One of the things that's important to know is that your elevator pitch is like a portable billboard. And there are 5 things that I think are really important to know. Number 1, we've all heard the term, right, that first impressions, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And I like to think that first impressions are really, really important. It's when people get to know you in the first few seconds of an encounter. And we want to be able to leave a professional, a concise, confident impression when we first meet them. Secondly, clarity builds connection. So if we can meet somebody and tell them who we are within the first few minutes, instantly they're going to be able to tell whether or not we resonate with them or maybe somebody they may know. Thirdly, it opens doors to opportunities. Last night, I had the opportunity of seeing a show that I didn't even know was in existence. And it kind of reminds me of the Shark Tank. And it was called Entrepreneur Elevator Pitch. And these individuals were actually getting on a simulated elevator. They were given 1 minute to pitch what it was that they did, who they were, what their business was, what money they had made in this business, and what their projection was. And one of the most important things was that they had to have an ask. So they had to either ask for money or collaboration about how they were going to move their business forward. So having an elevator pitch opens the opportunities to network and build relationships. So that's another reason it's important to have one. Fourthly, it positions you as the expert. When I'm able to tell somebody who I am, what I do, how I uniquely serve the people that I serve, and how they can get in touch with me, that makes me look more as someone that helps with transformation, opposed to somebody that's just out looking for the next client, right? And then fifth, it makes it easy for others to share me with other individuals. I can share Shannon's her elevator pitch because it's easy, it's concise, it's easy to remember, it's very professional. Dr. Rand, I can talk about the pulpit wife. I can talk about Nicolette's underwater basket weaving things, because they have shared this in a concise way that we can share it with the next individual. So using the acronym PITCHED, P stands for what is the problem you solve, and clearly state the main problem or the pain point that your audience is facing. So we need to be intentional about that. We need to show real world examples. So in my case, I work with women who are approaching retirement, professional Black women approaching retirement, and they need to have some additional money so that they can live a life of prosperity in their latter years. Though that is who my person is. Their problem is they don't have enough money. There are statistics that say brown people, when they retire, they have less than 50 grand in their savings for retirement. That's a problem, especially in these days. So that's the problem I solve. Using ChatGPT, I would use an AI prompt, as you see in the bottom, that says, summarize the main problem I solve and put my target audience in that bracket. So for me, that would be women 50 plus approaching retirement. For someone else, it could be photographers taking pictures skydiving. It could be pulpit wives that need to know who they are. Put that in the bracket in one sentence. So it would say, summarize the main problem I solve for women approaching 50 and going into retirement in one sentence. If you have a ChatGPT account, I want you to open it up. And we're at the end of this session, you should be able to have a simple elevator pitch with all 7 elements. The I stands for ideal audience. Know who you serve and who you support. Who are you speaking to? It's a good idea to do some research about your audience because you want to understand their needs and their interests. You want to tailor your messages so that they are resonating with those individuals and niche down. My people are 50 plus. So someone coming to me at 21 years of age, I'm going to have to refer them to somebody else because that is not my audience. That's not who I resonate with. And so I don't want to waste their time or them wasting my time. And then you always want to engage in relevant language. So to get the ideal audience that you are serving, you want to use your AI prompt that says, who is the ideal audience for someone who offers whatever your service or product is? For me, I would say, who is the ideal audience for someone who offers a bed and breakfast in Mexico? Who is the ideal audience for someone who offers a lakeside wellness retreat in Mexico? Who is the ideal audience? You fill in the blank with your service or your product. I stands for ideal audience. Transformation. Focus on the results or the outcomes that you deliver. We want to share compelling stories here so that we can illustrate some type of an impact that we have had. What are some of the metrics or achievements that have been effective? We need to paint a vivid picture. So recently, one of our attendees in our 2023 Jumpstart Your Sojourn retreat told us that she wasn't able to get residency in Mexico because the laws had changed. But she was able to take that information that she gained in that retreat, and now she has residency in Panama. So the transformation was still achievable, even though her first goal was not met to live in Mexico. So your AI prompt here would be stated in simple and inspiring language. Describe the results or outcome that your business, whatever your business or service is, offers who your audience is so that the clients can achieve whatever it is you want them to achieve. For me, it was the achievement of residency. The audience, that 50 plus woman approaching retirement, and the business or service was our Jumpstart Your Sojourn retreat. Transformation. Credibility is what C stands for. We have to briefly establish what our authority or unique story is. One-liners make us stand out. It also makes it easy for people to share with other individuals what it is and that we do. We want people to know, like, and trust us. So we need to establish that credibility. We want to share our relevant qualifications to establish that. We want to highlight personal experiences. My personal experience is that I moved to Mexico in 2021. I got my residency in 2023. I co-own a bed and breakfast. It is going on 2 years now that we have been there. So those are some of my experiences and my expertise. My AI prompt for credibility is summarize my unique background as a business coach, as a bed and breakfast owner, as a retreat host. You fill in the blank what it is that your title or the field is that you're in, using 2 to 3 credibility points, such as experiences, your certifications, or your personal stories, in one sentence that makes me trustworthy to the audience for my elevator pitch. The hook. We want to make sure that the hook is an attention grabber. We want to capture the attention immediately, and we can do that with a bold statement, a question, or some type of emotion. We want to start this off either with a thought-provoking question, a surprising fact, like most individuals, most brown people, when they're getting ready to retire, they don't have at least 50,000 in their savings. And it needs to be something that's relatable. Women approaching retirement that need money in their retirement can relate to that statistic. I don't have 50 grand in there. So my AI prompt is going to be, give me 3 short, engaging ways to answer the question. So what do you do? How many times have you been approached and that question has been presented to you? So, Nicolette, what is it that you do? So, Dr. Rand, what is it that you really do? Without sounding salesy. An example could be, do you know how hard it is, or you know how hard it is to take pictures while falling out of a plane? Do you know how hard it is to retire without $50,000 in a retirement? Do you know how hard it is to not have a emergency fund with $1,000 in it? Or imagine waking up with a ding, 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 because you've got residual money that's falling into your bank account. Imagine waking up without the stress of having to punch into a toxic job that's draining you literally of your life. These are just some hooks that you can use to get the attention of a potential client. Expression of value, or the expression of your offer. Mention your core service, your product, or your offer briefly. Again, we don't want to sound salesy. We want to make a quick success story about something that we bring to the table. It needs to be concise. It needs to be clarified so that there's an understanding that the person can engage with. We want to focus on the benefits and highlight what the audience may gain from this value or this offer. And we want to make it so that they can take action. We don't want to just give them the information and then drop the ball. So our AI prompt for getting the expression of value for our business or our service is, let's tell AI to write a quick one-sentence success story or an example that shows how I help clients using benefit-focused language. So that's what we would put in the chat to get the expression of our value or our offer of the product that we have. Finally, we want to drop the invite. This was one of the most important things when I was watching the show last night, Entrepreneur Elevator Pitch, that the potential business partner had to have. They had to have the ask. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. You want to encourage further engagement and connection with your audience. DM means direct money. You want to be clear on your call to action. So what are the next steps? Let's connect. Ask me how. Follow me. Learn more. You want to provide your contact details. You want to give them your Calendly link. You want to give them your website. You want to give them your YouTube channel or your whatever social media you're connecting with your clients on or potential clients. It's important for them to know the details. And you want to invite them to ask questions or discussions so that you can get a deeper engagement with the person. My AI prompt, give me 3 soft call to action phrases to end my elevator pitch. It's important that you ask. And the acronym for ask means when you are leaving this conversation, when you guys are parting ways, do you have an appointment? Did you swap your contact information? It's important to share that information. And then you want to keep in touch with them because the fortune is in the follow-up. So ask, appointment, S, share or swap contact information, and K, keep in contact with them. You want to be able to send them your podcast link, or maybe you would want them to be on your email list, but you want to make sure that you follow up with them and keep in touch with them. I want to share you, once you've got all of those 7 things in place, you got your P, you've got your I, your T, your C, your H, your D, and your E and your D. That's a rough draft of what your elevator pitch is. The last thing you want to do is ask AI, rewrite my draft elevator pitch so that it's conversational, 60 seconds or less, and easy to remember. Why? We want them to be able to carry it to the next person. Here is an example of my elevator pitch. Hi, I'm Savvy D. Jones, the co-living diva, a registered nurse, now turned Dream Life Legacy Coach. As founder of Savvy Boss Solutions, I help professional Black women 50 plus who are approaching retirement realize They don't have to settle for less income, nor do they need to sacrifice their peace. They can design splendid security versus dependency on Social Security. Through my Exodus by Design pro faith-based pro coaching program and my TEA framework tools, education and accountability, I guide seasoned sisters to create GraceGigs so that they can fund their dream lifestyle, supports relocation options, and builds generational wealth. I've walked this path myself, moving abroad to Mexico, building a thriving business, and designing a blueprint that makes retirement soft, sovereign, and sustainable for the next chapter. What if retirement isn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your legacy? If you're ready to redefine retirement on your terms, let's talk about it. Your dream life and legacy are waiting. For more information, DM me L.E.A.V.E. So if you look at this elevator pitch, the credibility, I give my name, I give my business, the fact that I'm a registered nurse, I give my ideal client, which is the Black woman 50 plus approaching retirement. The pain point that they have is that they want more than just Social Security. They need splendid security so that they can have more income. They don't want to settle for less income. They don't want to sacrifice their peace. What is the uniqueness of my business? It's faith-based coaching program. They're going to have tools. They're going to have education and accountability that is going to help them build this dream lifestyle that they want. Relocation is optional. Maybe the relocation isn't across the border, but across to another state, or maybe it's to another job. So then you want to make sure that you give your little brief success story. I walked this path, moving abroad to Mexico, and now I'm teaching others to do the same. So this is my elevator pitch. This has all the elements in it, and you can create one as well. If you want to contact me for more information, here it is. I will be leaving you a L.E.A.V.E PDF, and I will also give you the outline for the pitched framework so that you can create your 1-minute elevator pitch. That's all that I have for you.